On this installment of View the Right Thing, Wes and Beat go international by leaping into a futuristic Osaka, Japan to join a young group of teenagers fighting monsters and demons from another dimension in this 2016 adaptation of the Japanese manga Gantz 0 on View the Right Thing.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of View the Right Thing. As always, I'm Wes, and I have my bestie, Darling Beat. Say hi, Beat.
Hello.
So I'm really excited about this one because you're in charge of it.
I am not so excited, but excited
you'll be
because I can't wait. But
you'll be great. You'll be great. Well, so just real quick. So we've had a few weeks off. We have, like most people know, we record a bunch at a time ahead of time. But then we've had to take a few weeks off, so we're gonna try and catch back up. And but it's really nice to be able to hear your voice and talk movies with you, Beat.
I know, it's been a minute. I'm excited.
And now we've had Christmas, and it's New Year, and so 2023 is upon us, huh?
It's here.
Yay. Real quick, have you, just to ask the question, have you seen any trailers lately?
Nope.
No? I saw the new Across the Spider-Verse trailer.
Oh.
You didn't see this, Beat?
No.
Oh, I'll send it to you after or we'll watch it after we're done or something.
Oh, I've seen the new Scream.
The new Scream? Yeah, I sent that to you.
Yes, I watched it.
Yeah. That's pretty exciting. The Scream. So let's talk about Scream first. So I'm excited that it's not taking place in a mountain town. And I don't know, the idea of New York City seems like pretty exciting.
Isn't it Woodsboro?
What about Woodsboro is the original ones.
The original ones? Yeah. I don't know how excited I am. I love Scream, Ghostface, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like it's getting a little played out.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe New York City will change things. And who doesn't want to watch Jenna Ortega?
You're right. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And beautiful. And lovely.
Yeah.
I did watch Fallout, I believe, with her.
Yeah. That's pretty heavy.
It was so good.
Yeah. All right. So you saw Scream. No other trailers?
No.
So I saw the Across the Spider-Verse trailer, and I'm really excited because there are so many spider characters in it. And I was like, I've been looking at screenshots and watching the trailer and just pointing out like all my favorite spider characters. I'm just really, really excited to see them sort of being made into something real. And there was one set of spider characters in there in particular. I don't think they're going to feature them, but too much. But I was really, really excited to see them. And I don't know if I should tell you who they are. I'll say one of their names is Spinneret. And she's awesome. She's so great.
Well, I'm very excited for you because I know you're like a true fan through and through. So I know you're excited about this.
I watched the trailer with Desi, and she just was like watching me pretty much the whole time. And so at the end, I like turned and looked at her, and I had this big grin on my face. She's like, "You are so happy right now, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yup." So
you're like, they're catering to me.
Yeah.
They're literally my heart's desire. They have it on a platter.
Yeah. It's a pretty great trailer. We'll watch it afterwards. So a couple other trailers that I saw a couple movies I'm pretty excited. One in particular I'm very excited about. Barbie. I saw the trailer for Barbie.
Like Barbie Ken?
Yeah.
Barbie girl, Barbie world.
It's Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, and it looks fucking insane. And it's directed by Greta Gerwig, who's this incredible woman director. I specify woman because she tends to do women's stories. she's fantastic. She did Little Women and she did Lady Bird, and I'm sure that this take on Barbie is going to be really, really interesting. And it looks, I mean, it looks crazy.
Little Women with like Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Florence.
Yeah.
And I love Little Women.
Well, then hopefully you'll like this. Maybe we'll watch that. Maybe we'll watch some trailers when we get done with the podcast. So the last one
Hell yeah.
I want to bring up is called A Good Person, starring Florence Pugh, actually. And it's Zach Braff's new film. And he can be a little bit, I don't know if divisive is the right word, but he's a little hit and miss for a lot of people. I really like his work as a director. And this particular movie looks like very emotional and raw, and I'm very excited to see it. I did watch one more trailer that I'm really excited about. Probably the movie I'm most excited about this year.
Oh, goodness.
The Whale, they finally put out their full trailer for it, and by the time people are listening to this, the movie will have been out for a couple of weeks. It's Brendan Fraser. He's going to win the Academy Award for Best Actor. I'm just calling it now. It looks, just in the trailer alone, like I was almost in tears. It looks so powerful. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait to see it. So
I can't wait for our little trailer watch party because now I want to see it.
Heck yeah. So that's trailers. Any other, before we get into the movie, is there any other exciting things you want to talk about, Beat?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of. Oh man. All right. Well, I'm gonna hand it off to you because you're in charge of this one. You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Let's do it. What did we watch, Beat?
We watched Gantz Zero.
Gantz Zero. Yes.
It is a 2016 Japanese CGI anime science fiction action film. A lot of action. Mm-hmm. Great. So it's based off of a manga, Gantz. I believe there's 30 odd volumes to it.
Was this just one volume?
Well, this was like a because you have Gantz 1, so this is like a prequel to it.
Oh. Now I understand the Zero. Okay.
Yeah. So it was produced by Digital Frontier. And it was directed by, I'm not sure how you say his first name, but Kawamura is his last name.
Okay.
So the manga came out between 2000 and 2013. And then in 2011, they made a live action film.
Thought I lost you.
No, I couldn't think of the year, but 2011 they had a live action film, and then in 2016 they released this.
Oh, so how's the live action film? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I'm not much of an anime series and a live action movie type of person because they never hit. It's always a miss. Always really bad. And even the actual the writer of the manga like tipped his hat to the CGI version. So the version we watched, Gantz Zero. With the live action, he was like, no. It didn't do it justice.
Okay. Okay, I'm confused about so the live action one, when did that come out?
2011.
2011. Oh, okay. I was just looking it up on my phone here. It's called Gantz Perfect Answer.
Ew, yeah. So it's a completely different take on it, and even the writer of the manga was like, it wasn't like what he envisioned for it. And, that's always a good thing to get is the writers,
the creators, yeah,
yeah.
Gotcha.
So he did an interview with the producer, not the producer, the director of Gantz Zero, and they kind of talked about it, and he really enjoyed what they kind of like brought to life with the Gantz machine and the character creation and things like that.
Okay.
And then within like 6 months, it made 1.8 in the box. Million.
Do we know?
Million, sorry.
Do we know how much it cost to make it?
No, I don't know that much.
Oh, okay. No worries. Just curious if it made its money back. Is this movie a Netflix production, or is it just happen to be on Netflix? Do you know?
It just happens to be on Netflix.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's not like a Netflix original or anything. Because it seems like they kind of dip their hands into a bunch of different, like manga and anime and stuff.
Yeah, Netflix definitely has some pretty great self-made series.
Yeah. They like Castlevania and Arcane.
Seven Deadly Sins being one of them.
Sure.
Chef's Kiss. I love it so much.
Okay.
But back to Gantz Zero.
Sorry.
It did get a nomination for Best Animation Film in 2017, and then it also won Excellent Animated Film Award.
Wait, for what?
In Japan.
In Japan, so some Japanese awards.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So the Minachi Film Awards and the VFX Japan Awards.
Okay. Well, the effects, the graphics are pretty amazing.
Oh yes. If if you're watching it like in 4K huge screen, I know the first 3 times that I watched it, this is the 4th time I watched it, but first 3 times I was always amazed with just how great it looked. It was always so beautiful. I love the character, just the innovation towards the characters, like how they came up with things.
Yeah. It reminded me of, did you ever see the Final Fantasy movie? I think it had like Ben Affleck in it. Let me see when it was. It reminded me of that a little bit. So they made this Alec Baldwin. Why did I think Ben Affleck was in this? So it was from 2001, and they made this Final Fantasy film, and it's all CG, and it basically is like, the big thing with Final Fantasy, especially that era, was like, oh, the graphics of the cutscenes are so good, they should just make a whole movie, and so they did.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I love Final Fantasy. The graphics in that game is just so beautiful.
The movie's okay.
So you're setting me up for disappointment? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you might be set up. You might want to be set up for some disappointment.
Oh goodness.
I'm trying to see if it's available. It's available to rent on Apple TV, but I don't see it on any streaming services otherwise. So Beat, I'm gonna pose I'm not gonna pose the question, but I'm gonna answer the question I normally ask. And the question normally is, I ask you, did you like this film? But since I'm the one who hasn't seen it, I'm going to answer the question. Does that sound okay?
Wait. Yeah, let me ask. Hold
okay, go ahead.
So Wes.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the film?
Okay. I was really nervous going into this because I knew you really liked this movie. And I am not an anime guy. I have a hard time getting into anime. So, I thought this movie was really cool. I was really, really impressed with it, and I really, really enjoyed the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah. I was sort of expecting to not like it because I've like I said, I've been pretty hit and miss with anime, but I was really, really engaged with it right from the very, very beginning. I thought the character designs, especially the monsters, was really cool. I don't know if you've played or seen me play much of Ghostwire Tokyo, that game on PS5.
Uh-huh.
It totally, like, that game reminds me of this.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I'm so happy.
They have to have taken inspiration from this because, I mean, it's just like so many similarities, like with the big parade of monsters and everything, like right at the beginning. Like that's like the game has that. Yeah, no, I didn't think it was like the most, I mean, it's original in its own way, but like plot wise, like thematically, it didn't really feel all that like special or original, but like it was so engaging that that didn't really matter to me. And I was invested enough in most of the characters. The girl, the like super cutesy girl that he befriends. What's her character name? Do you know?
God, don't ask me.
Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, you've only seen it 4 times.
Look, I can watch something 100 times and go away without knowing the cast's name. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that girl, like, it's so funny because I was simultaneously like kind of annoyed by her and like loved her because she was also kind of cute as a button. And you know, I could see the ending coming from a mile away, but was really pleased with them executing it anyways. Like the predictability of it didn't really matter to me because that's what I wanted to have happen. so you know, good work on the filmmaker's part as far as that goes. But the thing that kind of annoyed me about the girl was. I mentioned this when we were watching it. It was like watching a TikTok. You know, those like the girls,
the POVs,
the girls who do the TikToks, like where they like do anime style movements with their faces and stuff.
Oh my god! Like Bella, what is it?
Yeah,
Bella
Porch.
Poached?
Yeah, like her. Yeah, it felt like I was watching TikToks when I was watching her on screen.
There was a lot of outer monologue, which is, you know. It's not
it's very
crazy
Japanese.
in anime. Yeah, it's very on point, on par. So like her outer monologue was just super annoying to me. But with everything else with the film, I kind of just ignored it. I was kind of like, I'll get used to it, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, you definitely get used to it, but yeah, I was just like, all right. And you know what? Had I never seen any of those TikTok people, then it wouldn't have registered. I would have just been like, oh, she's just like super cartoony or whatever. I did make a note right at the top. I was like, there's a lot of death in this right off the bat. But that's sort of the name of the game, right? Is like death was like a key piece to it. But it was like killing monsters and what seemed to be like kind of like main characters dying, and then our main character's in the subway, and then he's getting knifed to death. Yeah.
One of my favorite parts is how confusing the beginning and ending of this movie are. It's never, you just don't get it until you've seen.
I didn't at first. The end, I was like, wait, what just happened?
Exactly.
But then, like, as it played out, I got it. So we are going to spoil this. So, I love that guy keeps dying and coming back. Like the concept that whether he's in the game or in real life, like he'll put his own life on the line to help other people. I thought that was really beautiful, and I thought that was a pretty cool twist at the end.
Yes, I love him. I love how just like everybody's like, protect yourself, and he's like, are you dumb? Like they need help, and you have the ability. Why not?
It is a little weird that they questioned that if they knew him from before. Like, they should have known that he was going to do that. Why would they? I don't know if they're just playing a part or what, but that's a little bit strange to me. But not enough.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Not enough that it, like, bothered me or anything.
I did look up how many, what the Rotten Tomato score was from this.
Yeah.
Where do you think it ranges?
I bet it's in the 70s.
You're so close. It's 68.
I almost said 60s, but like upper 60s. But I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt because I actually think it's probably a little bit better than 68.
Yeah. A lot of people weren't happy with it.
Why?
They felt like the plot had a lot of holes, which, I mean, I don't disagree.
I don't know. Like what let's talk. I mean, what holes were there in the plot? Other
like
than the thing we just said. Other than that thing.
Yeah. So you have that, just like him just going along with it. There's no questions asked. You're just expected to believe what everybody's saying.
Yeah, except that, you know, like my argument about him like just going along with it was like he gets there and there's all this confusion and he does question it, and then the clock starts ticking down and there's no time. They're like, hurry, hurry, hurry. Like there's no time for him to like have a long conversation about it. Like they tried and they didn't get anywhere, and then he had to go. So like, I don't know, like him.
And then you have the game itself.
Yeah, I mean, the game's interesting. I don't know if that's...
And
like, I go ahead.
And then how do they resurrect people? How do you die and get there?
Yeah, who cares? Like, how are monsters there? Like if we're like saying we're okay with like demons and monsters of all different types, and their like crazy abilities, and we're like able to suspend that disbelief, why can't we suspend the disbelief that they die and they show up in this game world? Like, what does it matter? I don't think it matters. Like, there's like a fucking Pacific Rim scene where like a giant robot fights a kaiju, like, you know, and
like, I was gonna say that was like a homage to freaking Godzilla and Pacific Rim. Just
yeah, totally.
Two
Pacific
gigantic
Rim.
beings just like randomly fighting.
The only thing I didn't like about that was it didn't feel like it belonged in this movie. Like it didn't like, if anything was a plot hole, that was a plot hole for me, because I was like, how does this factor in? Like they didn't receive anything from that fight, right? Like it's not like they got a weapon that was the weapon that destroyed the bad guy in the end or anything, or, you know, that monster wasn't the main boss or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel the same exact way as far as like, I mean, screw it. The plot's the plot. Like,
yeah,
it's about what's happening. So like, I get over the plot holes, but this woman literally ripped this movie a new one. In
really?
This review. Yes, everything about it was so bad. I'll have to send it to you, but
yeah.
It's the only review on Rotten Tomatoes. No one else reviewed it, like left a review. Everything else is just ratings. But
well, you know, the other reason why I can like why none of those plot hole things matter, whatever they're calling plot holes, is that the movie all takes place over the course of like an hour and a half. The movie's an hour and a half, and an hour and a half of time goes by in the film, right? Like we see the Gantz is like ticking the clock down as they're in the game. So if this took place over like several days or like weeks or whatever, and they had downtime and they had time to like have conversations and still didn't do it, then I would be like, okay, that's a plot hole. But like, I don't know, nothing
fast pace. Yeah.
Nothing really jumped out at me as like, oh, they never answered this question and it's crucial to understanding the plot. Do you know what I mean? Like, or like, oh, this thing, how did they get to this ending? You know, there's a hole somewhere in there. Like there was none of that, you know, like everything made sense. They set up the rules at the very beginning with what the rewards were. He was selfless and chose like the reward that I think you want him to choose. So I don't know. I mean, it seemed, honestly, I thought they were going to like cop out at the end when the girl got lasered in half. I thought he was going to crawl over to her and she was going to still be just like barely alive and she'd get zapped out. I was like, oh, she'll still be alive. But
I love that they killed her.
Yeah. I mean, it made him make a difficult choice. Yeah.
It gave him that decision. And, you know, like you said before, his self nature was to keep fighting and to save her. So I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I only have one other note, and it's not really that pertinent, but it's just about some dialogue. Did you have some other things you wanted to talk about, or like things you really liked?
I would like to talk about our favorite monsters.
Okay. So first of all, your favorite monster. Let's start there. Okay.
So of course they don't have names, but the red being with the white wings, with the nice little freaking ball necklace on, and his little hat.
A little hat. I thought that was adorable. It was the second monster to have a little tiny hat.
Mm-hmm.
The green one with the blade tail also had a little hat, and I thought, oh, that's adorable, little hats. And they have little
I love
strings
the
holding them
green
on.
one though. Yeah, because he reminded me of like he reminded me of Abu from Aladdin.
Oh, sure, yeah, his little fez.
Yeah. But I loved my guy so much because he was just so strong
The winged
and
guy.
and beautiful. I loved his whole design type. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for things with wings.
sure. I liked the guy that follows that, which is the little old man who's just like, like that guy, and then he turns into a whole bunch of different versions of him and stuff, and then he turns into like a nudity monster. That guy was crazy, and I loved
It's a
him.
booby monster.
I loved him a little more when he was less booby and more old man. I just thought the old man was like really cute, and that's the guy that was up on the tower, right?
Yeah, that's the boss. That's the guy at the end too.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not his first form is the old man though, right?
Yeah, his first form is your favorite because it's little Yoda man.
Yeah, he's great. I would like to have seen more of him.
Yeah, he was schooling the shit out of them.
He was like jumping on the sword and stuff. That dude's cool.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. What was your last note?
My last note is about Oka. His dialogue is probably my least favorite thing in the movie. He just said the dumbest stuff, and it didn't like how he was saying it. And now, okay, I'm gonna expose us here a little bit. We watched the dubbed version, so get off our backs. But and so maybe it had something to do with the dubbed version. Had I heard it in another language, I wouldn't be able to discern whether it was still cheesy or not. But he was saying normal things as if they were catchphrases. You know what I mean?
I was
Like,
what is it? A pogo? Not pogo. Ping pong ball champion.
and he talked about like, and I know karate. And he's like, I learned it in college. It was a correspondence course, and I was like, what? Like, what do you? It's like he's like, I went to the mall to buy some clothes the other day. I ate a corn dog. Like, you know, just like it doesn't make any sense.
Dinner.
Yeah, it just I was like, why is your cadence like that, sir?
Yeah.
I didn't think he was that cool.
No, I did think his upgrades were very, very cool because he's the one that had like the Titan Pacific Rim suit.
Yeah, but he had like monkey robot arms. You know, they were like really long, touching the ground and stuff.
I felt like it was giving Predator.
Okay. I don't know. They're just really. It was like they went all the way down to the ground. It was like dragging his knuckles on the ground, basically.
Yeah, true. I don't know what his little tentacles out the back of his helmet were for.
So
I understood his arms, like the claws coming out of the back of his arms. I understood that, but
yeah,
nothing else.
Yeah, I think that was like a cool hair kind of thing because the guy cut him off and it didn't do anything, right? It didn't like,
yeah, they were like wires.
Didn't hurt him or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I did feel like there was one part where Gantz was divvying out the points.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice the names for the characters?
No.
So they called Rika Jugs.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then they called the old man Baldy.
Oh, I did catch that. I just didn't process it. I was like, is his name Baldy? Okay, interesting.
So yeah, not their names, but I do love how funny like Gantz is because every interaction you had with the machine was always like, ha ha ha, here's the game.
Yeah.
Or like, pick your poison. This is how the cookie crumbles. You know, giving random nicknames to people that, I mean, obviously, it's a little rude. He had some hair.
He did have hair. I agree. I can't believe that guy survived.
Yeah. He was honestly just useless.
Yeah.
Him and Rika were useless.
They both did do important things by the end. Like the Baldy guy, he did take a bunch of like bullets for the main guy.
Oh.
And then she, kept the sniping up from the scaffolding.
Yeah, Kato was so dumb. Why would he go up to him? It made
Uh,
no sense to me. I did like the monologue, the God monologue, like how they were standing there and he just had his nail on his forehead.
oh yeah.
I love that scene. I don't know, I think that's really cool. And he's like explaining like why they're there and that he's a god
If
and
they,
that,
if they'd had the balls to like not say there are many gods, but he just was like, yeah, I'm God, I would have been so impressed. If they had just had the wherewithal to like go out on a limb with that. But whatever.
Yeah, missed a shot there.
Yeah. It was still good. All right, that's all the notes I have. I'm sorry. I didn't. I was so engaged with the movie, I didn't take as many notes.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're engaged. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
not
I know
good for the
it's not,
podcast.
it's definitely not the best anime choice, but the movie, the way they made it, the production, just everything about it to me was great except for dialogue.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those movies where you can kind of turn your brain off a little bit and just sit back and again, it's short. It's only like an hour and a half, and it pretty much goes from the beginning. Like it just drives forward. There's not a lot of downtime. So if anybody out there is not into anime or maybe interested in getting into anime and has a hard time like I do, this is probably up your alley because it's not asking you to like, it's weird. Like I don't know what it is about a lot of anime, but there's something so anime about it. And I don't know how to verbalize that. This didn't feel that way to me. I mean, it had elements, right? But, it didn't feel real dry. It didn't feel like it was asking me to invest myself into characters that didn't have very much depth or I think it's part of the problem with anime is like they sort of ask you to sort of like buy into a lore that's already established, and this because the main character doesn't know what the lore is, it's okay for you to not know. But
Yeah.
a lot of other anime, they sort of like treat you as if like,
You should have known.
like you should have known, like this world's existed for a long time because that's how it is for the main character. And it's a very difficult entry point for a lot of people, especially people like me. So, yeah,
I'm
I'd
watching
recommend this.
I'm watching two animes right now that
At the
literally
same
come
time?
out. Yeah, they come out like weekly, and so like I watch them, and then like things will happen, and then I'll be like, oh, well, why didn't I notice that before? Or how come I wasn't paying attention to this? Or oh my God, how did that even happen? And I feel like this movie is not like that at all. It's very straightforward. As long as you're paying attention, you'll get it.
Yeah. And there's no reason to not pay attention. Like there's never a point where I'm like, oh, I should check my email. It's, again, like I said, it's pretty action packed. And so you're kind of being driven from the beginning to the end. Definitely recommend. I mean,
So happy.
I don't think I'd recommend it to my mom, but
I would recommend this to my mom.
yeah, your mom apparently is very cool. Not that my mom
Yeah.
isn't cool, but I don't think this is her cup of tea.
No, I love my mom. When I was a teenager, I was really into screamo music. So I came home one day and my mom was like, "Look what I learned," and she literally screamed a verse in a song I knew.
Oh, that's nice.
She's like, "I learned it," and I was like, "Oh God, so cringy." But thank you.
Showing an interest in your interests. That's nice.
Yeah, she a good one.
All right. Anything? Any other things? We got another short one.
No,
Oh,
I have nothing. Zilch, zip, nada.
Well,
What about you?
I don't think so. I think I got to say everything I wanted to say about this. Again, it's like I said, it was short and very engaging. So, like, and this isn't a criticism, but there's not a lot of depth to it. Like, outside of the twist at the end, there's there's not like a lot of subtext or anything. And because it's animated and they can kind of do anything they want, like camera work and cinematography all of a sudden kind of go out the window a little bit. So there's not a lot to necessarily talk about. It just comes down to like whether you enjoyed it, you know, and I did. So that's all I got.
Yeah.
Do you want to find out what the next movie is?
Yeah.
So our next movie is a musical beat.
We love those.
It's from The Wheel. And it must be on there because you either haven't seen it or you haven't seen it in a really long time or something. We're going to be watching, let me see what year it's from. It's older, Beat.
I'm nervous.
It's one of my favorite, 1955.
Nice.
And it is
Sound of Music.
No. My favorite musical. But it's interesting you guessed Sound of Music because it is, I believe, Rodgers and Hammerstein, which is also Sound of Music. Oklahoma.
Oh my goodness. I'm excited.
Have you seen it or no?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh,
I
man.
never even saw anything about it. So I'm excited.
You're in for a treat.
I love Blind.
It's great. It's great. And like I said, it's my favorite and I love it so much. So we'll be watching. That's our first movie of 2023 is Oklahoma. So that's pretty exciting. And we may have just a tease. We may be having a little bit of a format addition to the podcast in a couple months. We'll see. Hopefully that'll work out. Still working on it. Still trying to figure it all out, but hopefully big things on the horizon. All right. I guess that's it. Well, last chance, Beat. Nothing else to say?
No.
All right. We'll see you all next week for Oklahoma. In the meantime, Bone Cinema.